agenda to order and ask anybody to declare a pecuniary interest, either now if it rises down the agenda. First item of business is the approval of the minutes, June 1st, 2018. You've seen the minutes. Do I have a mover and seconder? And seconded by Mike. Are there any errors, omissions, or discussions from those minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor, opposed if any, that is carried. I am going to turn the meeting over to Christine, and I think she has a couple words.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Through you, I'd just like to make mention that we have some housing staff, both from the housing facility side and housing services divisions in the gallery here today. And I'd like to turn it over to the warden because I believe he has a few words that he'd like to say.
I think, Christine, when we were at a crystal meth drug task force meeting, you were saying how long you've been with the county, a short period of time. You've never had an episode before in this past winter. You've had three evacuations in your short term, so that's nonsense, Christine. That's got to stop. So it just indicates how busy. So as warden, I'm pleased to be able to publicly announce and thank the housing staff in the execution of work related to the Mildmay Housing Unit flood and fire. You will recall that in January of this year, our affordable housing unit in Mildmay experienced a catastrophic flood. The housing team had to complete an evacuation, set up a significant restoration. The housing team were on site and supported the evacuation and the work with the contractors. I remind everyone that this was in January, and dealing with flood is never a joyous time, let alone the deep freeze of January. Just as a team, we were starting to return to normal. We experienced a fire. After we had an evacuation and extensive rehabilitation requirement in that facility, it is important to me to recognize the team of Christine McDonald, Tony Ban, Tanya Dickinson, Tammy Sobera, Dean Schufelt, Ryan Samworth, Brian Balad, Mandy Friesen, Kathy Hope, and Lisa Summer. Thank you. Thank you all for what you've did. Your exceptional long days with evacuating workloads and evaluating and work demands. Your work was appreciated. And I think the other, so that was the two issues in Mildmay. Let's not forget about the crazy fire that we had in Chesley. That, which turned out, you know, that could have been a lot more disastrous than it was too. If that fire would have taken place during the evening, we would have had some tragedy and much more loss there. So we've also reached out and congratulated Chesley and Paisley for getting there and getting that under control. But to get the you had the people back into those units in record time, and I'm pleased as the mayor of Aaron as well that everyone at that building were much more cooperative than a couple of year out fellas in Mildmay, where I understand through the evening on Friday evening, one didn't even want to leave, sort of thing, and it was discovered late on to the evening. They were thinking, well, maybe that tenant is a bit inebriated. I thought, really? On a Friday night in Mildmay? Come on, I don't think so. So that was quite a goings on with your those three events on, most of them were on the weekend too, weren't they, Christine? So, springing, yeah. So, for all we have asked the team to join us for lunch today, and we'll have a cake to celebrate. And once again, everyone, thanks ever so much for your dedication to your work.
Okay, good. So at this point, I believe lunch is ready, so we will recess and reconvene after lunch. So thank you. Okay, I would like to call the committee meeting back to order and welcome those live streaming this afternoon. So next item of business is the action items, 3A, Social Housing Investment Program attached.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, we have a report before you that's administrative in nature with regard to the Social Housing Investment Program. The recommendation is before you. There has been a change in the distributor of funds, and so we need formal approval for authorization to proceed with the detailed administration.
So you've seen the staff recommendation moved by Milt, seconded by Ann. Just one question, where is WorldSource out of? I looked at the agreement, but it just really didn't say where they're from or what.
That's a good question. I will have to get back to you on that.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. Thank you. So the second item of business, disposal of 5 residential properties in Kincardine. You've seen the report. I'll turn it over to Christine.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, you'll recall at our last meeting, we rose in report that this was the direction that we were taking forward. We do want to give proper notice to the public when we declare surplus lands available, and so this report was posted 10 days in advance of the meeting in order to do that. And so staff are looking for direction to move forward with the recommendations as listed, and I can entertain any questions if there are any.
So there is a staff recommendation. I'll get a mover and seconder, put it on the floor. Moved by Mike, second by Robert. Discussions, comments? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. Thank you. All right, next item of business is closed meetings, so that the board move into a closed meeting pursuant to section 239(2)C of the Municipal Act relating to proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Mover and seconder to go into closed. Ann and David, all those in favor? Opposed, if